Welcome to Money Talks, a weekly feature on FM 93.5 The Berg and WMBG AM 740. Today we will talk just a little bit about money, maybe some of the things you can do with it, how it can impact your life, some ideas on financial planning and investing, and getting the most out of the money you hope to have, already have, or want to pass down. So sit back, relax, listen, and maybe take some notes, as you may have some questions by the time we're done with this edition of Money Talks. Welcome back, Dan Joss, to Money Talks. How are you doing today?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. So, what are we going to talk about today? We always talk about good stuff.
Well, last time we talked about servicing debt, and that was kind of a downer. So
yeah, that is kind of a downer.
Today we're going to talk about...
Unless you've paid it off.
Then you don't have to service it. So.
That's true.
Today we're talking about giving.
Giving. All right. Better to give than to receive.
It is. There's another verse... each one of you should give just as he has decided in his heart, not reluctantly or under compulsion, but God loves a cheerful giver. Most of my clients are generous and give a fair amount of their wealth and income away, and there are many ways we can give money, and we can give other things, but birthday gifts are most common. May is a killer month for me. 2 brothers' birthdays, brother-in-law, wife, anniversary, Mother's Day. So it's good to plan to give.
Yeah. Because if you plan to give, then you probably can actually give.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Studies show being generous may reduce stress in our stress levels, and the opposite, being stingy, increases stress.
Being stingy increases stress?
It does.
I must be way stressed because I am inherently stingy. Just ask anybody who knows me.
Helping others by lending a hand or running errands may also help us live longer.
Okay.
So in that way, we can give of our time.
All right.
Another study shows that giving money away can feel just as good as receiving it. The pleasure-related centers in the brain light up when we either give or receive money.
Okay.
So I can't guarantee people giving me money all the time, so I can guarantee feeling good by giving money.
Okay. Right.
And if we plan to do it, then it's less stressful as we do it, and we get this good feeling. And so the more we plan, the better we can give, and the more we give, the better we feel.
Gotcha. Well, that makes good sense.
Now, the problem is, sometimes there's tax consequences if we give.
I thought it was a good thing to give tax-wise.
Well, we can only give $15,000 a year to one person each year without running into some other estate planning issues.
Okay, this is not a problem I've had on either end.
But some do. And so
but your clients have enough money to do that.
I wanted to say that, yeah. So, regardless, we can give early, give often, and give well.
It's like voting in Chicago.
I've never lived in Chicago.
Okay. Give early and give often, and that allows you to give well.
And give well.
Okay.
We can give, with taxes in mind, appreciated assets. So if we were going to give to a charity, we give a certain amount, we would give the dollar amount, or we can give an appreciated stock or other investment away and avoid paying any tax we would have paid.
Now, when you say an appreciated asset, you're not just saying, oh, wow, I really appreciate that.
No. No, it's a tax term. An investment gain that if we were to sell it, we would owe a tax, and then we would give money minus the tax, but we can actually give the asset away and avoid paying the tax. And if we're giving it to a charity, they also avoid paying the tax.
So if I bought, say, Netflix stocks for $1,000 and it grew in value to, I don't know, $5,000, if I cash that in, then I pay some tax.
You'd pay capital gains on the $4,000 gain.
But if I gave the stock away, even though I'm sort of only giving away the $1,000 that I put in it,
you'd be giving away the $5,000.
I'd be giving away the $5,000.
The charity would receive the $5,000.
And they wouldn't pay tax on it.
And the government wouldn't get capital gains tax from either of you.
Wow. Well, that's kind of nice, unless you're the government.
It's a question for your tax preparer.
Okay.
And another...
Because you're not really offering tax advice, you're just bringing thoughts and questions up.
I'm just raising the issue.
Raising the issues.
Give early, give often, give well.
Okay.
if you're not a giver, there are places around. Williamsburg Community Foundation.
I've heard good things about that.
It's a place that knows all kinds of different organizations that have needs and
Right.
help in the community, and so they would be able to help you on how to give or where to give. In fact,
Okay.
if you have a willingness to give and share in the community but aren't sure where to start, that's a community foundation is a good place to start.
And I think I heard that you can make a gift to the community foundation, and it can be designated for something specific through them, or just to their general fund, and then they'll pick where it goes.
Yep, and they have a committee that decides where they give each year.
Wow, based
so-
on demand and all that.
Yep.
Well, that's really cool.
You can give to colleges.
Okay.
I give to my.
I've heard there's a really good college in town.
There's a few
university.
and there's a few in the area.
That's right.
Churches, other places of worships, and lots of nonprofits in the area.
Right.
And
Right.
So
Okay.
there are places that need,
Right.
and if you give, or anyone gives, then they're helping out, and then that's in part where the good feeling comes from.
Okay.
But not just mentally and feeling good; it's actual physical. I'm better off for it.
And there's probably, and this is just a psychological thing, it's probably a great feeling when you give to one of these charities and then they do something good with it, as opposed to perhaps the government taking it from you and then the government doing something with it. There's probably a different feeling there, I would think.
Well, there is, and different countries each have their own way of going about it. But in the U.S., we're more generous and we support charities directly, where some of those things are done differently outside the U.S.
Okay.
So to start off with, start small. Buy someone lunch this week. It's a give.
A small lunch like the extra value meal?
Anything would be a good gift.
Anything. I'm going to get in trouble for this one, sort of. There's this radio station that occasionally does this thing that talks about paying for the people behind you at the drive-thru. That if you just say, you know what, let me pay for them people in the drive-thru behind me. That's a really cool thing to do. I'm not going to reference the station because I don't listen to it and I don't remember exactly what it is. And you should always be listening to 935 The Berg. But I have done that on a smaller scale back when I used to pay for tolls going through Richmond and stuff. I said, you know what, let me pay for the car behind me.
I did that recently here in Williamsburg. I bought someone their dinner, and within a week, my meal had been paid for twice by someone else.
That's really cool. Isn't that interesting how that works out?
It is. It's fun.
Yeah.
So plan for it. And then be generous. Next week or next month, give someone a bigger gift. And then determine throughout the rest of the year how much you want to give, and then set up a plan to make it an effective gift or an effective set of gifts.
Okay.
And we'll all be better off for it.
That's great. Well, Dan Joss, we appreciate you coming in and being part of Money Talks today. This was great stuff.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. Do you have any last-minute thoughts that you want to share or last words?
Yeah, give early, give often, and give well.
All right. And if somebody wants to call you about giving or any other financial matter, what's the best number for them to call?
757-903-2127.
And that's going to wind up in some phone in some other country with some person who doesn't really know you?
That's right.
No, that's going to go to your cell phone. That's what you're supposed to say. No, that's going to go to your office.
Goes to my office phone, and next month I'll actually have someone else answering the phone for me.
Okay. Well, good stuff. Money Talks is a weekly program presented for the listener's benefit and entertainment. It is provided at no cost to the listener, and the ideas, opinions, and comments are not to be construed as legal advice, tax advice, investment advice, or other advice specific to the listener. Listeners are encouraged to seek the advice of a licensed professional or other qualified party when dealing with financial, legal, tax, medical, investment, insurance, taxidermy, plumbing, electrical, carpentry, real estate, chiropractic, veterinary, oral hygiene, hot air ballooning, etc. We have given you some food for thought. Now, call a licensed professional such as Dan Joss at 757-903-2127. Thanks for listening, and remember, failing to plan is planning to fail.